for it and give a good account of ourselves, and let's put in a positive performance.
Because, well, for various different reasons, as you well know, because you led the team to one of them. Arsenal at home in the top division is quite a thing for this football club, and victories, because I can't imagine at any stage across that piece United went into the game as favourites, yet they were victorious.
Yeah, before me, obviously that period where we had two great results away at the Emirates when Flecky scored, and late on where we were in the game right the way through, and obviously the home game was a great experience, and you know they're the standards that we need to match. You know, we need to certainly match them on the pitch, and it allows off the pitch to get that back in that hopefully we'll get.
What more do you want to see in terms of kind of squeezing the orange out of this squad between now and for teams like Arsenal that are on the horizon?
Yeah, listen, consistency in team selection, consistency in a settled side, so we can work at the training ground to improve players individually, improve the team. Of both boxes, you know, we've conceded some really poor goals in the time, which isn't really sort of tight to sort of us as a football club, but we have to accept that responsibility, the goals that we've conceded. So does that go hand in hand in terms of the work on the training ground? Most certainly. You're chopping and changing. You know, we talked about the Luton Town game. We come away from the Luton Town game and get a really good positive result, and we've got two players, you know, one definitely out for the season in Max Lowe, and another, you know, that I'll be surprised if he comes back before the end of the season. So those are the little bits and pieces that are happening to us. Both boxes are crucial. Understanding that, you know, these top teams are going to have the majority of play in between boxes, but I think you look at the top teams and they defend well. They're clinical and ruthless in their defensive attitudes, and when they get to the top of the pitch, they put you to bed. So from our point of view, from a defensive situation, cut out the silly goals and poor goals that are costing us. And on the other side, when we do get the opportunity, which we did on Sunday, you know, in terms from the statistical point of view, penalty area entries, how many crosses that we have to show that bit of quality. That, as I said before, the old one that turns, you know, losses into draws and draws into defeats. We certainly had enough of the ball and enough of the areas in where we wanted to get the ball to cause them problems, but we have to find that final run, pass, cross and finish that makes the difference. You know, we talked about it when we came in this week. You know, how is that defined? How does that look like? What is it? Is it because of a lack of confidence, because of the league position? Is it a lack of belief in terms of what's happened this season? Is it a little bit of desperation as well, because they want to do well? I think it's a mixture of maybe 3 or 4. Do I think they're good enough to produce those moments? Yeah, because they would have done in the Championship. It's a little bit quicker, but it's still a chance to put a ball in instead of putting a ball over the crossbar, to find that final pass instead of, you know, not finding that final pass. So we believe in the quality that we've got. Hopefully added with McBurney coming back in and Ben coming back into the group as well, and when Cameron comes back in, then that'll feel a little bit easier for us as well. But just finding that little bit. So I think it's a combination of quite a few of those things. When you're flying, when you're doing well, you do find those passes. When you're not, and it's a little bit of desperation. So we need to come out of that sort of feeling. And out of that area that we're in at the moment, if we are gonna score goals and get what I believe we should have got out of the game, which was certainly minimum a point.
So, thank you very
Cheers,
much.
Andy.
Hi, Chris.
Hi, Damo.
Just the one. You've spoken very favourably about some of the young kids coming through, the featured on the bench, people like Arblaster and so on. How tempted are you to throw some of them in now at this stage of the season, or is it just a time for sort of cold experience? Yeah,
well, they're getting experience because they're part of the first team, so they understand how we roll as a staff and what it's like to be a first team player at a Premier League football club and at Sheffield United. So they're getting to grips with that. So that isn't always easy. The day-to-day expectations and standards that we're placing on those players That doesn't mean that they don't have that in the academy. I've got to say, the work the academy does is fabulous, and will continue to produce players, no doubt, dominating our area and producing really good footballers. Now the big step up is into the level that we're playing at. So the boys are learning every day. The Arblasters and the Brooks and the Sulas, in terms of the coaching, in terms of who they're training with, the environment they're in, and the standards that are set. I think, going back to your question, Damo, yeah, I mean, listen, it is tempting, and I suppose, you know, there'll be a few people that want us to chuck them in, but I've just got to get the balance right as well. And maybe if we were playing with a little bit more belief and a little bit more confidence, that would ease them in a little bit easier and make that decision a little bit more easy. But as you can imagine, you know, it's still a situation. It's a pretty difficult one to deal with. But you know, if I feel the time is right, you know, I think, you know, well, I know I'm bold enough and brave enough to do it, and we'll get on with it.
Chris, Arsenal at the moment seem to be flying. I think it's 19 goals in the last 4. Are you catching them at a particularly bad time?
Seem to be. I don't think the word seem, is it? They are. What would you rather do? Would you rather be playing a championship game on a Monday night, or would you rather be playing Arsenal in front of the world and playing against world-class players and a team that's absolutely flying? You know, in Europe, they've improved year on year, and are deservedly in the position that they are. I know where I'd rather be, and I'm sure the players will have that same attitude.
When Arsenal will be such strong favourites for a game, there's often a narrative, I think, from the media that it's a free hit for you. Do you believe in free hits?
No, there's no free hits. We have to produce a performance that represents ourselves, our football club, that the supporters are proud of. We haven't had enough of those this season, so we need to produce more of those than not. So no free hits for me, regardless of the opposition. Of course, you know, bookies and people in the game will have us down as the whipping boys on Monday night. We understand that, but you know, the game's not always built like that. Results aren't decided before a game on league position. They go into the game as favourites. Understand that, but we have to show that we were capable of being competitive and trying to get a result out of the game.
Thank you.